My girlfriend and I were actually having a really interesting talk the other night on our way back home from my parents' house, and I can't remember exactly how the topic of the conversation came up altogether, but it dealt with being included, being invited to events, and ultimately, friendships and who you're meant to be around, who you're not meant to be around, and also this fascinating idea of FOMO, which is something that I've always been very curious about, and mainly because I don't really buy into it, because I do what I know is meant for me, and if I'm not invited to something, it's really not the end of the world for me. But with that said, I came to the conclusion because she was asking me questions about what is meant for us, what's not meant for us, what we'll end up doing in life, what we won't end up doing in life, and I felt like I actually had a lot to say about it, and it really made sense. So, the way that it all works is that we're meant for things that are meant for us. We're not meant for things that are not meant for us. And depending on where we are in life, for instance, you could go in for a job interview and you could be totally excited about getting the position, and you might not get the position. And if you don't get the position, you might feel really down about not getting it and wonder why. But what's interesting about it is that this universe is so conscious that it has the ability to stop us from experiencing something that we're not meant to experience, and throw us into experiences that we most definitely are meant to experience. And with that said, it's not that we're never going to experience it, it's just that maybe we're not 100% ready to experience it yet. With that said, we're not meant to be around certain people for a very specific reason, and this is the conclusion that I came to the other night, which blew my mind because I wasn't even thinking this way. It kind of just came in as I was conversing. And so the way that it goes is this. Sometimes we try to force other people into our lives or to do things with us. But what's interesting is that some people out there are just not meant to be, one, in our lives, or even two, a part of the experience we want to experience altogether. And there's a reason for this. Everyone, energetically, vibrates at a certain frequency. People that vibrate at the same frequency will end up coming together more often. And it could be two people that are vibrating at a lower frequency, or two people that are vibrating at a much higher frequency. And depending on where we vibrate, we're going to be either meant for people or not meant for people. And it's really as simple as that. But what's interesting is that I hear people complaining about how they want to be invited to different events, or they want to bring people along and the people are saying no. And what's really happening there is that the event that the person is going to is maybe really good for their personal and spiritual growth, and the person that they want to invite that's saying no could have, the possibility to really hinder their growth altogether. And the same thing goes for someone who is indulging in something that could potentially be low energy matter, and they're trying to invite you who's on a beautiful path of really profound personal and spiritual growth. You're vibrating at a much higher frequency, and you might wonder whether you should say yes or no to that, and you ultimately end up saying no. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason, because when you say no to that, you realize that the person, or actually, maybe you don't even say no because you don't want to go. Maybe you say no because something else came up, but something else came up for a reason, because what that person that invited you, who usually tends to indulge in low energy matter, this person is going to be doing something that involves low energy matter, and you were invited to do something else of higher energy matter. So you chose to do something else consisting of high energy matter, and Instead, your vibration is not being lowered by the person who invited you to indulge in, this low energy matter. It's very interesting. We will not end up doing things that we're not meant for. It's as simple as that. So this whole idea of FOMO, it kind of fear of missing out for those who don't know. I honestly don't buy into it. I think it's more so an idea relating to, how do I put this? I think that we're just really curious as to what other people are doing, because we may have a tendency to, as social animals as we are, we have this sense of needing to belong, but we will never belong to something that we're not meant for. And that's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. And so you can rest easy knowing that this universe is so consciously aware of your existence, because as Eckhart Tolle once said, we are in fact the universe becoming aware of itself. So therefore, whatever the universe is giving you, it's not giving to you, it's giving for you to experience, for you to grow and be the best you can be. And so whenever there's uncertainty, it's usually there's an incredible, that you've got to be very aware of, an incredible awakening coming your way, or an incredible amount of growth coming your way. But truly, we will never end up doing the things that we're not meant to do. We will always end up doing the things that we're meant to do, because fear of missing out is just, in my honest opinion, a wild concept. That's kind of like trying to bend reality too far. It doesn't work out. You'll always end up doing what it is that you're meant to do. And if it doesn't happen and you feel like it's supposed to, it's because you're not 100% ready to experience it. Which, honestly, the universe could be saving you from experiencing things along the lines of, anxiety, because maybe you need that extra step to be a little bit more confident, to build that skill, to experience that. And so the universe is saying, I want you to experience this in the absolute best way possible. So I'm gonna make you wait another, 3 or 6 months, and then I'm going to throw something else your way. And then you're going to experience it. Because like I said, we're never meant to experience things that aren't meant for us. Beautiful nature. I love this. This reminds me of Infinite Waters. He usually has something along the lines of like this, like behind him. It's a really nice setting, and I love filming in nature. I don't do enough of it. I want to do more of it. So maybe I'll bring you guys more content like that. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let's start a discussion about this. It's a hugely fun topic, and whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for stopping in. Peace.